Right now, what you're about to pay attention to will fundamentally shake everything about your struggles, your relationship with your failures, and the true nature of your mental power, because there are only two types of people in this world: those who have been beaten down by life, exhausted, constantly complaining, just trying to get through the day, and those who stand unflinching in the face of challenges, those who carry a smile on their face while others are shattered, those who rise up when everyone else falls to their knees, the victors. The difference isn't IQ, it's definitely not luck, it's absolutely not a diploma. I call this positive mental attitude, and let me be clear, this isn't just thinking beautiful thoughts or anything. This isn't cheap motivational speeches. This is absolutely not a plastic mask you paste on your face while your soul is shattered. No, positive mental attitude is not a thought. It's a weapon. It allows you to see clearly even in the thickest fog. It enables you to maintain your faith, act with precision, and move forward with an unextinguishable purpose. It is the only known antidote to failure and the unchanging foundation of lasting success. I have been interviewing the most powerful people of our era for over 25 years. Carnegie, Edison, Rockefeller, titans who built empires. They achieved this not because life was easy, but because they developed an indestructible mental structure. They didn't fear failure. They embraced it. They didn't surrender to obstacles. They examined them by breaking them into pieces. They didn't collapse under pressure. They discovered the formula to turn defeat into victory. And you can do it too. But first ask yourself this: what controls your mind today? Is it fear, doubt, pity, anger, or is it faith, purpose, gratitude, desire? Because the mind never remains neutral. It is always under the influence of something. If you don't direct it, the world will direct it. If you don't claim it, your enemies will claim it. This is the ruthless truth I learned when I finally faced my biggest enemy, myself. Now listen to me very carefully. Your mental attitude is the only thing over which you have complete, absolute, indisputable, unquestionable control. You can command it if you choose to. This truth will either liberate you or destroy all your excuses, because you become what you believe. You attract what you think. You eventually live what you dwell upon. But I tried to stay positive and life keeps hitting me, you say. Then I ask you, what is the level of certainty of your purpose? Because no person can develop a strong mental attitude without a definite main purpose, without such a burning, such an intense, such a magnificent goal, that even failure trembles before it. Show me a man without purpose, and I'll show you a ghost wandering soullessly. And the one wandering soullessly, my friend, is always under the control of darkness. But show me a man who knows what he wants, who wakes up with fire in his belly and crystal clear vision in his head, and I'll show you an indestructible person. To develop an unbreakable positive mental attitude, you must first sharply decide exactly what you want. You will believe without any doubt that you will achieve this. You will act every day in perfect harmony with this belief. No excuses, no waiting for motivation, absolutely no slavery to external conditions. Let me tell you something most people will never tell you. The world doesn't have to give you morale. The universe doesn't stop to caress your weakness. But it does this: it always rewards determination backed by faith. The moment a person decides that they won't give up, won't surrender to negative thoughts, that their mind belongs to them and not to their enemies, something magical happens. They begin to attract what they need. People emerge. Opportunities become visible. They access a power they didn't even know existed. Right at this point, negative thoughts approach. Failure tries to instill fear. Because as you change, your mind begins to lose its old boundaries. But this transformation only begins when you understand this secret. Negative thoughts are not guests. They are invaders. If you show them tolerance, they will take over your home, your mind. If you feed them, they will eat away at your purpose from the inside. And if you allow them to stay, they will convince you to give up on what God placed you here to accomplish. This is why you must do what I call cosmic cleaning. Take inventory of what you think. Monitor your inner dialogue, and when you catch your mind sliding toward fear, doubt, anxiety, anger, stop it like you would stop a thief at your door. Instead, place gratitude, faith, the powerful voice that says, I was not born to be broken. I was not. Created to be weak, I am made of the same matter that created mountains, rotates galaxies, and breathes from the lungs of champions. Now, let's address the biggest lie that keeps people weak. I'm just not a positive person. Nonsense! You weren't born positive or negative. You were conditioned. Your environment trained you. Your experiences shaped you. But nothing is permanent unless you allow it. What is learned can be forgotten. What is programmed can be rewritten. The key is repetition. You become what you do repeatedly. You believe what you say repeatedly, and your attitude will reflect the dominant thoughts you feed over time. Therefore, if you want to develop an unbreakable mental attitude, start with this. Control what you're exposed to. Feed your mind every day with faith, courage, and truth. Speak powerfully even in moments of pain. Read great words repeatedly until they burn within you. There are no shortcuts, no cheats, but there is a way, and that way starts with a single decision. Whatever life brings you, your attitude is yours, not your enemies, not your critics, not your pasts. It's yours, and this, my friend, is the beginning of power. If you want an unbreakable positive mental attitude, you must understand the power of autosuggestion. What is autosuggestion? It's the method by which your subconscious becomes soil for either poisonous weeds or golden fruits. Whatever you tell yourself repeatedly, right or wrong, your mind accepts, absorbs, and ultimately blindly believes. Before your success, there is always a conversation, not with someone else, but with yourself. Your inner dialogue is either the architect of greatness or the silent killer of dreams. The person who gets up every day saying, I will win, I will stand tall, I will never give up, begins to shape their reality with the pure momentum of mental belief. The man who wakes up in the morning saying, nothing works, I'm tired, I can't do this, dies before getting out of bed. The mind's limit is the limit of imagination, and if it can believe it, it can achieve it. But belief must be shaped daily through repetition. Hoping once is not enough. You must condition the mind deliberately, mercilessly like a muscle every day. Give life to your purpose by dedicating 5 minutes every morning, not passively, not softly, with fire, with power, with clarity. Say, my power is immeasurable, my purpose burns so strong that fear cannot withstand it. I attract what I need because I never accept anything less. You may not feel this at first. This is normal. The subconscious doesn't change with emotions. It changes with repetition. Say it repeatedly until the voice of victory becomes louder than the voice of doubt. Now let's go deeper. Unbreakable attitude is absolutely impossible without self-discipline. If you can't control your habits, You can't control your emotions. Negative repetitions extinguish positive power. Discipline is the bridge between thought and reality. Without it, your good intentions remain fantasies, and your destiny is delayed forever. The men I studied, Carnegie, Hill, Edison, Schwab, didn't rise only with their talents. They rose because they governed themselves. They understood that a person who cannot control their thoughts, their time, their appetites, is a slave in a world designed for kings. So I ask you, what are you tolerating that weakens your soul? What distractions are you inviting that delay your progress? What comforts are you clinging to that steal your future? Unbreakable mental attitude is not born in comfort. It's born under pressure with discipline. It takes shape when you say, I will get up instead of scrolling. I will speak of strength instead of complaining. Because every time you choose discipline over impulse, your internal power grows, and every time you surrender to ease, your potential dies a little more. Now let me talk about perhaps the most vital truth I discovered after years of studying success and failure. Every negativity carries within it the seed of equal or greater benefit. If you truly believe this, you never lose. You may bleed, you may fall, you may suffer, but you are never broken. Because you know this is not the end. This is a test before the rise. Look at your own life. The greatest lessons didn't come in comfort. They came in collapse. The greatest clarity didn't come when things were easy. It came when the storm hit and you had to decide whether to drown or rise. This is why I tell you, develop the habit of expecting both good and bad. Train your mind this way. When you say this pain is preparing me, this failure is redirecting me, this delay is protecting me, you become unshakable. You become invincible because life cannot harm a man who grows stronger with each hit. Now let me explain another fundamental. Teaching. I gained from my life's work. You are never a victim of circumstances, only a victim of your reaction. Two people can face the same setback. One becomes bitter, the other grows. The difference is in mental attitude. When life slaps you, you have the right to decide. When someone betrays you, will you curse them or will you bless them as a teacher? You have the right to decide. Will you be resentful or will you become wiser and stronger? You cannot control what will happen, but you can always control what you will become. This is the great secret of positive mental attitude. It doesn't eliminate difficulty. It redefines it. It doesn't stop the storm. It teaches you how to pass through the storm with purpose. Now let me warn you, there will be people who don't like your mindset. They will mock your optimism. They will call you a dreamer, unrealistic, naive. Ignore them. Most people are addicted to mediocrity. They have made hopelessness a habit. In an order where they are comfortable crawling, everyone who dares to stand up is a threat to them. So you must cut them off. Eliminate mental infection at its source. Surround yourself only with those who speak powerful words about life. Stay away from those who feed your fears. Because tell me who your enemies are, and I'll tell you who you're becoming. But also tell me who your friends are, and I'll tell you the limits of your future. Environment is more powerful than will. If you spend your time in darkness, don't expect your mind to shine. You must carefully choose what you allow to affect your attitude, because what enters your ears enters your soul. Finally, let me leave you with this truth. You don't need permission to develop this power. You don't need a diploma, a title, or approval. You only need one thing: a decision. The decision to own your thoughts, the decision to direct your mind instead of being directed, the decision to be the kind of person that nothing can break because your attitude refuses to surrender. If you make this decision today, if you say, "From this moment on, I no longer rent my attitude to conditions, I own it, I lead it, I protect it," then you have already completed half the path to greatness, because the world bows to the will of those whose spirit is supreme. Stand tall, my friend, when the body falls weary. Now let's finish this. You've come this far. This tells me something about you. It tells me you're no longer content with just surviving. You want to take control of life, and control begins in the mind. The final layer of building an unbreakable positive mental attitude is this. You must have a definite main purpose. Without purpose, the mind drifts. Without a burning goal, the mind wanders like a leaf in the wind, pushed and pulled by fear, doubt, distraction, and weakness. You must bind your mind to something greater than comfort. You must wake up every day with a reason so powerful, so alive, so personal that nothing can take it from you, not fear, not failure, not fatigue. Your definite main purpose is not just a goal. It is your identity in action. It is who you are, guided by vision and sustained by obsession. Every person I studied who achieved great success had this. They didn't just want it. They didn't hope for it. They lived it. Their purpose wasn't something they did. It was something they became. Ask yourself, what do I want so much that I'm willing to suffer for it? I long for it so deeply that to achieve it, I'm willing to risk being misunderstood, mocked, doubted, even to remain alone. What kind of life would make every breath I take worth the pain it gives? Once you understand this, engrave it into your subconscious. Read it aloud morning and evening. Feel it as if it has already happened. Speak it with emotion. Write it in stone, because vague desires produce vague results. But clarity governs the universe. And when you are clear, when your purpose is fixed in your mind like the North Star, your positive mental attitude will be not only your shield, but also your sword. Now listen to me carefully. The person who has purpose and protects their mental attitude becomes unstoppable. They may be delayed, but never denied. They may fall, but always rise. They may struggle, but never retreat. Why? Because they understand that attitude is the hinge on which the doors of destiny open. Your attitude determines whether a failure will be fuel or your end, whether a loss will be a lesson or a lifelong excuse, whether a challenge will be your fall or your rise. But you must protect this attitude as a warrior protects their sword. You must protect it from negative influences. This includes toxic people, toxic media, and your own inner critic, mental laziness. This includes gossip, self-pity, and every kind of thought that drains your energy. Victim thinking. Whatever life brings you, take responsibility, own it, shape it, rise from it. Never allow another person or situation to determine the meaning of your life. This power is yours alone. Now allow me to speak directly to your heart. As a man who has spent his life studying the great and uncovering the forgotten, you are not here by accident. You were created with a purpose. You have something the world needs. Your existence is proof that your destiny is real. But if your mind is filled with fear, self-doubt, and excuses, this will not happen. Your mission is to clean your inner world. Feed your mind with the words of greatness. Read the biographies of giants. Construct affirmation sentences. Take bold steps, and above all, think thoughts that elevate you, expand you, strengthen you, and direct you forward. Every time you do this, you grow. Every time you allow fear to control your mind, you shrink, grow. This is the choice every day. Now, let me give you a rule that has never failed me. Act as if it's impossible to fail. I'm not saying this lightly because fear has stolen far more dreams than failure ever could. The fear of failure keeps people small. The expectation of defeat is often more powerful than defeat itself. So what if you eliminated the possibility of failure? What if you said, I cannot fail. I can only learn. I cannot lose. I can only adapt. I cannot be broken. I can only bend and return stronger. This, my friend, is power. This is the seed of an unbreakable mind. Because you no longer hesitate. You act, you speak, you create, you command. And in this commanding, fear flees, doubt recedes, and the world responds. Because confidence is magnetic, certainty is rare, and those who possess both become leaders not just in title, but in spirit. Now listen to me well. No one has succeeded alone, but no one who waited for others to believe in them first has succeeded either. You must believe when others laugh. You must stand when others sit. You must speak when others mock. You must lead even when you are still in development. What you're talking about is the reality that the world will follow those who dare to be mentally invincible. So let me summarize what you will have if you dare to live. A mind that sees opportunity in every obstacle, a voice that empowers the soul every day, a purpose so clear, so intense that fear has no room to breathe, a discipline so consistent that weakness becomes insignificant, and a mindset so positive, so unshakable, that even the gates of hell cannot stop your progress. This is not a fantasy. This is a law. These principles are eternal. They worked for Carnegie. They worked for Edison. They worked for Ford. And if you apply them, they will work for you too. So the question is not whether they will work. The question is, will you stand up for your attitude every day? Will you speak powerfully even when your conditions are weak? Will you persist even when everything inside you wants to give up? Because if you do this, you will build not just success, but a life worth living, a life of depth, a life full of greatness, a life that will impact generations long after your name is remembered. This is the power of an unbreakable positive mental attitude. And if you decide, it is now yours. So I ask you as your guide, your mentor, and a person who has dedicated his life to studying success. Will you decide, because the moment you make that decision, your destiny begins? And from today forward, let every thought, every word, every action of yours declare to the world, I am unshakable, I am unstoppable, I am unbreakable. And so it is.